broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, and welcome to another AfterBuzz TV after show for Castle. Welcome everybody! Yay!
We're here.
We're here. We're both here.
Well,
Yay!
Heather's here.
I'm
Thank
here.
God.
I'm sorry, you guys. I left you for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry.
I can't do the show without you, Heather.
know.
I mean, Tiana's
my body
awesome.
failed me.
No, it's okay.
So thank you, Tiana, for stepping in.
I'm just glad that you're feeling better.
Yes.
That's where I was at.
I'm feeling much better, you guys.
Okay, I'm glad. But
It was a rough
perfect,
2 weeks.
Perfect timing, though.
Yeah,
for
I
an
know.
awesome episode.
Amazing. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys, give us 2 thumbs up or 1 thumb, I guess it has on YouTube.
I mean, either way.
You know, whatever. Comment and let us know your theories and everything. And if you're listening to us on iTunes,
Hello, iTunes.
hello. Make sure to give us 5 stars. And you can find us on Twitter as well. I am at Heather Joy Smith. And with me tonight is
Alexis Torres, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at atorres890.
And you can always use the hashtag at ABTVCastle to send us your theories. And
Right here somewhere.
yeah, we keep our phones up here, so if you're watching live, make sure you tweet us. Say hello, give us your theories. Tonight's episode was episode 15, Reckoning.
Yes.
Yeah, and this was kind of a 2-part episode from last week, and so we, get to see Castle freaking out, obviously, for a good reason.
It was a good twist because the fact that, yes, we've all been, craving and cringing about, oh, we need to find out what Castle's up to and what did he do, and, from day one of this season. But now it's kind of, the tables are turned. Now he knows how it feels, which he brings up at the very end of the episode of losing someone, and he was just losing his mind.
Yeah.
We were sitting there watching going, is this Richard Castle right now? Because this is dark.
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is I hate to say that Castle kind of needed Kate to go missing for him to get that feeling, but here she's been struggling with this for months.
Yeah, 2 months.
And Castle, I don't think he quite grasped how hard that was on her and what she actually had to go through until, unfortunately, this happened to him. And now he knows, he could barely get through 2 days. Think of what she had to go through for 2 months. I mean,
yeah. Which he brought up, he was just like, I don't know how you handled it.
Yeah.
I was going crazy for 2 days, and you had to deal with this for 2 months. But I mean, it's brought them closer as a couple, which is fantastic. But I also feel like, not to get into predictions, that Kate is not going to... I mean, she's usually really good about getting herself back into the saddle and, pretending like everything's okay. But I feel like this episode's going to kind of, change her for the rest of the season and maybe any other seasons after that, because this was a scary one for her.
Scary for her, and she wasn't quite right at the end. And I mean, if this is how Castle's acting now, possibly his whole kidnapping had something to do with his behavior, because like you said, he was in a very dark place this episode.
Yeah, I mean, the episode brought it out of him, or I'm sorry, the situation brought it out of him pretty easily. But I was proud, which we'll get into later, of how we all have been talking about this. Tiana, you, me, and most of the fans are just like, Castle, stop going around by yourself. But again, let's get into that, because I want to talk about it.
Okay. So let's start out, the first kind of scene that we get is a payphone envelope. This is Richard Castle on it, which we obviously know this is directly, for Castle. Mm-hmm. It's Kate's voice on a voice recorder saying, help me, help me.
Which was scary to hear.
Scary, but, they didn't know that it was going to be on a recorder when they got the payphone call and whatever, and go and, go there as fast as they can, which kind of scared the crap out of us.
It was just like,
whoa! Like, how fast are you going?
It was really funny to watch, because it was just kind of like, oh, okay, so they're talking about it, and then all of a sudden, the cut was just like them driving towards the payphone, and I was like, oh my god.
We both were like, whoa, what the heck just happened?
Because it was just, what was it, Esposito's Challenger or Charger that was just driving. I was like, oh, okay, we're there, we're here, we found the location. But I wasn't expecting it to be a recorder. I definitely thought they were gonna find like fingerprints or something else, and then when they brought out the recorder, I was like, oh, they're so good.
And super creepy the fact that they had chopped up different interview portions that she had done previously and different other things to make this.
Which when they brought it up, the fact that I was sitting there going, oh wow, they must have been doing this for a while, which they did bring up that like they've been doing this over time, because that was just a few months ago when Castle first went missing. So it's been a few weeks, maybe like a couple months, like after the 2 months that he's been gone. That's a lot of prep.
And terrifying for Castle and Kate to realize that somebody is tracking their every move for the last couple months.
Yeah, which I kind of want to bring up really quickly from a commenter or a user from last week, where he had two theories. It's VTOOKY V2Key81. And they said, I have two theories. One, I think Dr. Kelly and the triple killer were deliberately in the precinct to give themselves an alibi, which we talked about last week. Also, number two, I'm thinking this has to explain what happened to Castle when he disappeared, and someone was going around as him. Because she rearranges people's faces. And I was like, I never thought about that. Because why would they be tracking him for 2 months while he was gone?
Yeah.
So I was like, smart. I'm sure that it's 3XK's way of framing him for something even bigger to come through. But now we don't know, because obviously in the this episode, everybody died. Sorry, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the episode.
Everybody except for the formal triple killer who's in jail still.
Yeah. So that's the problem, is that I didn't think about that until he brought it up in the comments of how... Yeah, they could have totally had somebody else and just knocked him out for 2 months. And no one would even have to know. But also doesn't explain his childhood either. So it's opened up a whole different can of worms. But I wanted to ask you about it because it does kind of relate to what we're talking about, especially for this episode.
It totally does.
It's so strange.
I don't see how next episode, I know I say this every single week, but I mean, seriously, how can they not... talk about this and Castle's childhood, what happened? It's been 15 weeks now. I need answers.
Like, seriously, like we've been...
This is not okay.
Yeah, it's been 15 weeks.
15 weeks. And now the fact that we've got, Castle who's been missing, Kate who's been missing, we got them both back. It's time for some answers.
Yeah, we got them married.
We got the wedding done.
We got the wedding done. We're done.
We're done. We're done, people. We need answers now. Go back to episode 1.
Oh my word. But yeah, I did like the fact, thank you for your theory there, because that's opened a whole different door for at least my theories and things like that. Because now I want to know, like, is that what they're doing? Is that what they were planning on doing? And I want to know so
I feel like they
bad.
just opened something so much bigger than what we had even thought it could have been.
I'm hoping that when the season finale comes up, or at least the last 3 to 2 episodes, it better be freaking good, because these past 2 episodes were crazy.
Really good.
Yeah, which I want to get into about after they track the when he gets another phone call in the precinct and they track it to Castle's home.
Yeah.
And obviously Alexis and Mama Shades
is
totally fine, which was, I was expecting them to be gone too, and I was like, everybody's being taken. It's another episode of Taken. Liam Neeson's gonna come out, apparently he has a special set of skills, and it's gonna be great. But, they're fine. He sends them off to Europe, as per usual. And then all of a sudden they track the van. And this was the part that literally took me into, wow, Castle's gotten... Writers are getting really good with suspense and throwing us off for even if it's a split second.
Yeah.
Because when you find supposedly Kate sitting in the chair, and then as soon as he comes in, what goes off?
Her voice.
Yeah, her voice goes off like, no, it's a trap. And then just gunshots and then blood splatter. And I was like, whoa.
What on earth? I honestly was like, what just happened? Like,
I mean,
what?
I knew that Kate wasn't dead.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yes, I was just like, no, not Kate. But at the same time, you were like, Alexis, they can't kill her off.
I was like, how can they kill off Kate with 7 more episodes to go in this season? It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and that was pretty, I mean, it wasn't super violent.
For a second, we were like,
No, I literally, my heart, like, jumped into my throat and then back down. Yeah. And I was just like, what happened? She's dead. This is what's happening. she's dead, and that's it. Castle's got to figure it out on his own. And you're like, no, Alexis, no.
Yeah. I think at this point, though, in the episode, we're like, okay, these people are dead serious on whatever they're doing, and they're not playing around.
I mean, so was Castle.
So was Castle.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, not to, keep jumping back and forth, but obviously from the beginning when Castle went to Tyson/Boudreaux's house and he was just ready to attack him, and Ryan was just like, this is not helping, this and this and this, and I was just like, wow, this is really different than the Castle episodes that I'm used to, which we're obviously going to get back into after this episode.
But that's the first point where we were like, whoa, he's gone to a dark place. At this point, we don't know what he's capable of. He's got a gun pointed at some guy's head like he's going to shoot him.
I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like I don't remember Castle caring that much in the other episodes. I mean, I know that usually if he was on the scene with Kate and everybody, he's usually just wearing his bulletproof vest, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he knows how to use a gun, but I've never actually seen him use it.
I was going to say, I never really saw him use one or, like, even, like, have it on him or anything.
I don't think so. I mean, fans, help us out, fact check, #fact check for us. But I don't remember.
Just haven't, like, maybe it was there and I just didn't
wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to something like that.
I mean, I figured, technically even in the Western episode that we saw this season, he did have a gun, but it wasn't used for violence. It was more just like,
it's fun, yeah.
I mean, and I'm used to seeing him as, like, Captain from Firefly and a couple other things, so I know he's used it before in my brain, but I don't remember actually seeing Castle using it as a threat in until this episode, and it was nuts. But so we find out obviously that the lady in the chair is a random victim that they picked up off the street. She was a drug
She happened
drug
to
addict.
look like Kate too, though.
Yeah, which was creepy how they were like, let's find someone who looks kind of like Kate and put a wig on her, and they shot her up. That was crazy.
I mean, how scary for that random girl, though.
Yeah, and she was blindfolded and gagged, and they just, she had no idea what was going on, and then she just died. Writers, goosebumps, literally. Like, I had shivers up and down.
The writers are going to a dark place with that one.
Until we have the alien episode next week.
They're like, we're just going to spin this all around into some cheese now.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think we've tortured you guys enough. Yeah. So let's give you some fun alien stuff. Here you go.
Stuff.
But
this episode, like we talked about, Castle went to go visit the former triple killer in jail.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like he was, like, already knowing where Castle was going with this because he's already in communication with Tyson, even though he kind of made it seem like, oh, no, like, why would you think I talk to him all the time kind of thing.
Yeah, I felt like it was not needed. I mean, I get why they did it because you can see the anger in his face of, like, I'm still stuck in here. Like, how dare you be able to roam free? But at the same time, I felt like most of the conversation wasn't really necessary. I felt like we were just going around in circles.
And now I kind of feel like he was more of, like, the ringleader than Tyson was. Like, he's given, like, I feel like maybe he was like, oh, Tyson, you need to go do this.
Yeah, I feel like there's obviously, like the Vituki said in the comment that there's something bigger that we don't know what's going on. And it has to do something with just a bigger plot with with plastic surgery, the triple killer, and it's just crazy. So I'm really excited to see if we ever get back to this topic and this storyline, that it's going to be really good.
Speaking of plastic surgery and creepy things, can we please talk about Kelly Neiman? Because
she
gives me the EBGBs.
No, like that whole interaction scene between, Kate being obviously tied up or gagged or whatever in the operating room was just, it was just the creepiest thing of how she was just, like, playing with her chin.
That
and, like,
really just creeped me out. Like, I don't know. That was the one thing that bugged me of the whole episode, that I just wanted to, like, run out and, like, not watch anymore. I'm like, I can't do this. This is creeping me out. Like, I felt like she was going to, like, take a knife and just, like...
No,
I mean, she probably would have.
No, she was going to. We just,
we just
Kate
didn't see
obviously
it,
got to it. But, I mean, at the same time... Yeah, just the fact of the writers really brought her character out this time. Because at first I was like, okay, she is a little creepy. She keeps commenting on her face. Yeah. That's fine. That's okay. We get that. But the fact that she was, like, stroking her cheek, like, caressing her cheek and, like, moving her hair out of her face behind her ear, I was just like, this is weird.
So, and her oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say actress-wise. fantastic.
That's what I was just going to say. I was just going to say, like, her face when acting this whole scene was so beyond perfect. Props to whoever.
I can't remember her name right now off the top. Like, oh my God.
But wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the fact that she could keep a smile the whole time. I'm sorry. If I was sitting on that table, I was just... like, I would be laughing the whole time.
It was just like a creep. Oh, I don't even know. It just creeped me out.
Yeah.
It's going to give me nightmares.
No, like this, I mean, last episode was pretty creepy. I feel like this episode, it took the cake. I definitely have to sleep with all my lights on.
Right.
And I'll have to watch all of the Disney movies to get
I think
through
it's been years since Castle has done that to me where I really am just creeped out by it.
Yeah, because it was... Ugh,
Good job.
That whole scene, and I love how they kind of dragged it out too.
Yes.
Like there's like those weird awkward silences, and I was like, "What are we doing? Stop!
Yeah.
Stop. I want it to go away now."
I know. And then Kate like reaching under and unscrewing the screw, and her hands all bloody because she's obviously been trying to like rub it and get it loose and stuff.
Yeah, see, you were smart because I was sitting there going, "What is she going to use the string for?" And then I realized, oh wait, the binding is where the stitching is. So she was trying to take the stitching out. So I was like, okay, because at first I was like, what's she going to do? Choke her with it?
Yeah.
Like, what's that going to do?
What's that going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I thought she was trying to get it looked like at first she was trying to get the bar undone so that she could.
That's what I thought.
have
She was
a
going to
weapon.
whack her or something, but then you could tell like.
Yeah.
Then her strap was on it, and she was trying to get
and I was
it
like,
off.
okay, I see that. But it was, of course, perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
But before we keep going with Kate, I definitely want to talk about Castle's whole strategy and how it deceived us that we thought he was going to go by himself, but he ended up bringing...
Because while this is going on, you and I are talking about, Castle, why are you so stupid? Why would you do this again? You almost got arrested the first time you went by yourself.
That scene also scared me, watching Castle
like,
just
why?
going to town. And I was just like, you shouldn't have done this by yourself. Why are you doing that?
Why does he go to these places by himself? We were like screaming at the TV, like, stop! Tell someone!
Yeah.
Call someone right now. It's not too late. Call someone.
I mean, he was on his iPad in the car. I was like, you could email
she
somebody.
did. It's not too late. And then sure enough, Castle had us fooled, and he had this whole entire plan with Esposito ready to go.
Which I don't know how you guys feel about it or you about this episode, but I felt like this is the first time where they kind of deceived the audience of Castle's thought process.
Totally.
Because I don't remember, I mean, I would literally, it's been 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Guys. Like,
There's
it's hard
been a
for me to
lot.
bring out some stuff, but like the fact that, you know, he sat there and he looked like he was talking to himself, even though in my brain I was like, who's he talking to? At first I was like,
he's gone crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I think especially because it was right after the scene of him. I mean, I love the actor who plays Tyson / Boudreaux. He is so good at just flipping the switch. Like, I loved how I actually for a second there thought like, oh my God, this guy is not who he is. And that he's just stuck in this horrible situation of getting his face to look like a serial killer until he looked up when Castle got arrested. I was like, nope, never mind. He's a psychopath.
He flipped it so many times tonight. It was like every scene like he was in, he was like...
Yeah, I couldn't tell who was what at one point. I was just like, okay, now you're being Boudreaux. Okay, now you're back to Tyson. Now you're back to... like when he was... I loved how as soon as he opened the door, he's like, no, I'm not letting you in. It didn't even matter. He just smashed the door.
Yeah.
Like right into his face. And I was like, wow. This is new. This is a different Castle. I like it, but at the same time, not a fan.
Not okay to go by yourself.
I like that
though.
Tiana even also brought it up, like, oh yeah, Castle doesn't have any training. Like, he doesn't do anything. But tonight really changed my perspective on him because he was kind of, you know, I feel like he had no moral ground. He was like, I'm going to kill you until I get my Kate back.
He's
and I
like,
was like,
you mess with my woman, I mess with you.
Yeah, which is funny because, I mean, Kate was kind of on the same boat when Castle was missing, but she's a cop, so she has to think about, like, I don't want to get into too much trouble, so I'm going to try to take the safe route, but at the same time, double into some naughtiness. But Castle's not a cop. He's just going on, like, primal instincts of, like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Bringing it all back to Taken, like, I will find you, and I will kill you. Like, that's what it felt like to me, and it was really cool to see that. And then, of course, bringing it back to where he's in his Buick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it said, the Wi-Fi on it, I started cracking up. It said, like, Castle's Buick hotspot. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow, you're definitely a rich person.
Hilarious.
But yeah, he had his iPad out, and he was trying to... he was opening his email.
Yeah,
to see
and then the house floor plans. He was trying to see the floor plans, I think, so he could figure out where each of the rooms were and where they might be.
Yeah, and then of course he took his gun out, and I was like, man, he just has guns and like things just lying around the house. Apparently, awesome. And yeah, and then he goes out and he's by the tree, and then guess who we see smoking by
Yeah, Amy.
Amy. And when I was like, okay, so she's definitely part of it, but I don't know what her plan is.
I still feel like we don't know why she was there, though, because she got locked in the trunk, and then that was the end of it.
And we never saw her.
And
for
we
the rest of
never
the
saw
episode.
her get. Did she ever get out of the trunk?
I mean, that's the other thing is I don't understand is that Esposito and Ryan were helping her. So did they get her out of the trunk and then like take her away, or what happened?
They kind of left that storyline.
I guess because to us maybe Amy's not that important, but I feel like she's gonna play a role later.
Yeah, she might come back later episodes.
Yeah, because I mean I can't really tell because when she was shaking when she was trying to light her cigarette, so I can't tell if she's like hating her job or she's just kind of stressed out.
Yeah, she's got to be a part of it because why would they let her walk out of the house and smoke a cigarette if, I mean, they have Kate tied up? I mean, it just isn't, I don't know.
I mean, technically she was correct that she was alone in the house. Tyson ended up coming up later, but I was just confused as to like, because there was 2 plates there's 2 glasses of wine, so I'm like, are you having wine with Tyson? I thought Kelly was Tyson's, wait, what?
Yeah, what?
So it's a little weird. So I feel like, that yeah, she's definitely gonna come back, especially after what happened, because they're obviously dead. So I feel like Amy's gonna be like, "You killed my man," and like doing crazy crap, and I think it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so they put her in the trunk, and then what happens after that?
So then Castle goes inside and he's like looking around, remember? Because we were talking about how clean the house was until they got to the one room. Upstairs. And then it was a mess.
It was just like, oh, let's cover all our, it was like, it's like my grandmother's house. Like they covered everything in plastic.
Yeah.
Because she's a little old Filipino lady and there's like sheets and plastic except for the kitchen because everything needs to be used in the kitchen apparently. Yeah. And then you get upstairs and it's like dingy, it's like gross, dirty, like
rat poop looking things all over. Gross.
Yeah, and it was just like, there was like paint falling off the walls and there's flies and I was like, so weird. What's the difference between up and what?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then he finds that one room with all the newspaper clippings.
Yeah, which is super creepy because they have all these old newspaper clippings with Beckett's and Castle's faces on these.
From like season 1.
Yeah, from old stuff. And then he sees the computer monitor with Kate on it, like streaming from wherever room she's in.
Which, by the way, you're streaming Wi-Fi or internet or whatever, fantastic. Like, holy smokes. I was like, it's clear, she's moving, there's no lag. I just wanted to put that out there.
Super random.
I'm just saying, because I mean, I Skype my family in the Philippines all the time, and I don't even get that.
Yeah,
so
no.
Serial killers got some good internet.
They got some good internet. And that's kind of where Tyson comes in and kind of, flips the script on Castle and says, like, I led you here. I knew that you were going to come here. I'm going to kill you kind of thing. And then I'm like, oh, what is going on? And then Castle flips it on him again. And it's like, no, I lured you here.
I love it because we're like,
huh?
What?
I don't get it.
I don't understand.
And then there was like some mouse reference in there, like a mouse always like, goes to routine, yeah, and like
because of cheese.
I
was paying attention. I was writing notes. I was just like,
they got a little crazy right there. But all I know is then Tyson got shot by Espo, and we were like, yay!
Oh, I was so happy. You guys should have seen me. I literally like threw my notes in the air. I was like, I knew it.
We were like, yes, go Espo.
But the funny thing is, I didn't think they were going to kill him. I thought they were going to arrest him.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my fan question of this episode going into the next one. Did you guys think? I mean, obviously we're all like super excited that he's dead, but did you guys expect him to die in this episode, or did you think that the police were going to arrest him and try to put him back into prison again? I mean, I understood why.
I totally wish they could have arrested him because then maybe they would have got some answers. But I feel like in that situation, Castle really didn't have the upper hand, even though he thought he did, had Espo not been there. And so I feel like that was kind of their only option, was just shoot and go.
No, I mean, the answer to my own question was that I'm glad that they killed him, was because he's gotten out so many times that he needs to die, but at the same time, for some odd reason, my brain wasn't thinking, oh, they're gonna shoot him and that's it. I thought that they were going to arrest him, put him in like a crazy secured prison, and then I thought that he was gonna tease like, you know, oh, you have no idea, and then the whole castle theory would have been from there. But that's why I want to know if you guys were thinking the
I'm
same
curious
thing.
to hear what they all think too.
And then so he's dead.
He's dead.
And they find out through the last number that he called where Kate is. But Kate is already a badass, so she sat there and Kelly Neiman was getting nervous, and
because she was expecting a phone call from Tyson, and when he wasn't calling her, she was like, what do I do? She's like, well, screw it. She almost got her purse to like leave, and she was like, no, wait, no, I got to do this now. And so then she like put it back down, grabbed the little knife thing, and was gonna go in for Kate's into Kate's face, and I just had this feeling. I was like, oh, Kate's gonna get her. I thought Kate was just gonna whack her.
Yeah, I thought that's exactly what I thought she was gonna do. It was just gonna be a straight up pipe, like.
Yeah, no, she demolished her.
That was crazy. I mean, the funny thing is, I was hoping not to be like even more like cynical than this episode is. I was hoping that there would be like a cut or something, so that it would remind her forever, like that. I mean, I don't want her to go through that.
Want her to get hurt?
No, I obviously don't want her to get hurt, but I think it would be crazy to see her change as a cop, because I don't think she's been in crazy predicaments before, but this one was pretty bad because it was kind of personal.
I feel like the emotional scar on her is going to be super deep, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. But that's what I wanted to add to it, is that she'll see, like, this scar, and that's the first thing that she'll think of. I mean, like I said, she's been through enough that I think she can handle it, but I think it would have been crazy just to get, like, just a tiny little
thing.
Just something. But, yeah, and I also wasn't expecting Kate to kill her.
No. I don't know how many of you guys watched Scandal, but I said, oh, she just went all Huck on him.
Right? Yeah, when they found her, she was standing there, and obviously they cut to her hand, covered in blood, and I was like, okay, maybe she, like, I don't know, like, a couple slices here and there, and she's probably fine. But no, there was, like, a pool of blood. And I was like, okay, Kate. All right, you know what? I'm gonna back up and just let you do your thing. I get it.
Messing around.
No, and I love it because what you mentioned was just like, did you see all their faces?
Yeah.
Like, jaws open. Okay, Kate, here, let me just take that.
Kate, put down the scalpel. Yeah. Put down the scalpel.
We're all good. I got you. But yeah, it was exactly like a Scandal moment of just like, I mean, it would have been worse to see her like tied up and like plastic all laid out and just being like, you know what?
I chopped her to bits.
I think that would have been like, okay, we have hit a different spectrum here, but yeah.
Kate, now we really need to talk.
Yeah, but I mean, it was kind of crazy to see both Castle and Kate go through a dark, emotional turmoil to the point where they actually killed somebody.
Yeah.
Technically.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Esposito technically took the shot, but
Castle was ready to do it.
Yeah, like he was like, no, I don't want to take him in. He needs to die, which was, I'm going to assume was that was their train of thought, and they executed it very well. So, I mean.
So crazy.
But, we get back to, Kate's back in the precinct. There's slow clap for her as she comes in.
And she's like looking all sad, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I just feel bad for her right then.
Yeah, I wanted to give her a giant hug, which Lainey did.
Lainey's awesome. The greatest.
This is obviously just me being a nitpicker, but, like, I thought it was really funny that Captain was just like, like that's all she did, and I was like, no clap, no nothing.
Like, what are you
It's like just a smile of approval. Okay, cool. You're just too much
She's
of a tough
just
cookie.
too cool for us.
Apparently, she's too cool for Kate. So whatever. But yeah, and it was a really good episode.
Really good.
Did you have any favorite moments?
This is so demented.
What?
I liked when she chopped her up. Like when she went all crazy.
All right, so now we know that Heather is a crazy person. It's cool.
I mean, it's so un-Kate-like.
It's true. Because usually she has so much control. I never thought about it that way. I mean, my favorite was seeing kind of Castle being out of his element. Yeah. That was kind of cool, just to see him kind of turn into this person who's just like, I need to find my wife, and I don't care who gets in my way, you're going to get hurt. And I was like, smart. And I like that he brought Ryan and Esposito in on it.
Yes.
That was my favorite
So
part.
smart, and totally threw us for a loop because we weren't expecting that.
I didn't think they were even close. I thought they were
Not
up
even.
by the whiteboard. So I was like, oh, okay, so he's talking to himself like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Great. That's
Like,
awesome.
We've really lost everyone's minds in the show.
And it's great. I love it.
I
absolutely love it. But
Let's
but-
get. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I really want to know what you guys think for the rest of the season, if we're gonna get more dark stuff, because obviously we're gonna get into predictions about next week. It's not so dark anymore.
No, let's get into some predictions then.
Please.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Predictions. Please
So,
go first.
I mean, the sound right here kind of goes in
I
well
was waiting for you to say it.
with next week's alien themed, and I don't even know where to go with this because it's alien themed, and what really do you do with that? I don't
mean,
know.
I
but
feel like they're just bringing back Firefly stuff.
yes, okay, so we've had a dark couple of weeks, and so they need to lighten up
Lord.
the mood. I get it. We're bringing back the cheese that we got in a few episodes, more than a few episodes this season.
Love it.
It's time, I guess.
I mean, I
We've
get
been-
it. Writers, I get it. We
I
need a
get it.
break.
We need a break.
Yeah.
This was a really, it was a deep, dark, twisted
dear
episode.
God.
I mean, I might have nightmares now because of this tonight.
Yeah.
So I get it. You're bringing it back. I do not want to forget what happened in this episode, and I want them to come back to this
They should.
because I think we still need more answers from this, and I think part of those answers are going to be about Castle and his kidnapping. We just need them, and I feel like this has opened it now.
Yeah, and I feel like they're just gonna wait till
I
the
know.
last three
The
episodes.
last few.
Yeah, at least. I highly doubt it's gonna take up the rest of the season. It's just gonna be previously on Castle, and it's gonna bring everything back, and it's just like, oh, okay, we're finally into it. Here we go. But for now, it'll just be typical, mystery upon mystery.
Yeah.
So, my prediction is that, like I said before, that there is something giant happening, and that they're going to just it's going to rain down on us when the time comes. But for now, it's definitely just going to be cute little lighthearted alien stuff. I'm just more intrigued that they did bring back the Western thing, and then now there's a space thing, and I'm just like, if anyone's a huge Nathan Fillion fan, this is just plain bliss for us at least. But at the same time, I am kind of tired of it. I kind of want to just get into the nitty gritty and move on.
Yeah.
And I was liking the fact of how kind of gory we've gotten.
I kind of liked this episode a lot. This might have been one of my favorite episodes so far.
Yeah, I mean both episodes together, I think that they were really good, and I kind of want them to keep with that tone, but I know that they can't because it's on at 9 o'clock.
I
8
know.
o'clock.
They got to be a little more lighthearted at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
but-
which makes sense, but I feel like if they could have not like an HBO Game of Thrones kind of thing, but I mean, How to Get Away with Murder.
I was just gonna say, you know what?
Scandal
They
are
are
pretty bad.
They're getting away with a lot of things, and they're on the same network, ABC. So
I mean, it's not ABC Family, so
no,
we can't get away
we can
with that.
push the buttons a little bit further.
But I understand, and I applaud you, writers, that you guys were really changing it up, and I really like that. And whatever happens. I just feel like this is going to be just a normal Castle episode, and we need to get back on it.
I agree. So we have 7 episodes left to go, and seven.
Seven episodes.
I kind of feel like we're gonna get 4 cheesy ones, and then
the last
three they're gonna really hit it hard with everything that we've been asking this whole season.
I'm so excited for that
Yeah.
because I think it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be just fast-paced, blood. I mean, not too much blood, but
Not too much.
yeah, but
We just
enough
need
for us
some
to be
answers.
like, oh, that was on
Uh-huh.
Castle. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Exactly.
I do have a shout out.
Okay.
This is for REM. And he said, I just listened to you guys on iTunes during my run, and now I'm randomly stumbling onto you guys here on YouTube.
Hey.
Hi! I cannot wait for the next episode of Castle and for you guys to talk about it.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Thank you.
But I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't have anything for this week because I've been in my...
I don't have any news and gossip either, so I just want to get to the nitty-gritty. Like today, or yesterday, technically.
Or next Monday.
Yeah, that too.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at atorres. That's 890. So that's ATORRES 890. I also just opened my own Facebook page, so you guys are totally allowed to like message me, and we can totally keep up the chat from there. I would love to hear everybody's theories.
Do you know what the facebook.com /
Yeah, I think it's facebook.com / atorres 890, I believe. If not, tweet me and I'll help you guys out.
Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Heather Joy Smith. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.